in the kitchen cooking with Thunder Bay. It is one of my all-time favorites. It's meatloaf. Yum! Some people say it's boring. I say it's delicious. And the one we're making today is anything but basic.
That's right. Executive Chef Mike Stigler is here from Thunder Bay to teach us how to make a Bison Smoked Meatloaf. Bouncy, the ketchup on the table.
Good morning, ladies.
Yum.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Doing great.
Good.
What do you have?
Well, we got the Bison Smoked Meatloaf, as you said, and for that we use domestically raised bison meat.
Okay.
We grind it up with a little bit of onions and peppers and some other secret ingredients that I can't get into.
Yeah.
We smoke it over hickory chips for 3.5 hours until it's all the way cooked through, and then we finish it off in a pan to give it a little bit of texture on the outside.
What do you put in your meatloaf? Because that's, I think, the thing that a lot of people have, you know, depending on how mom made it, that's how they make meatloaf.
Well, I mean, a lot of the what you want to keep in mind with meatloaf is that you want to have a little bit of a fat content to it to help keep it moist.
Okay.
So bison is naturally a very lean meat, so we actually cut it with a little bit of beef. And the reason that we do that is because beef has naturally got a little bit more fat into it, so that'll bring a little bit of fat to it, help to keep it moist, because sometimes people will think that bison is a little bit dry because of the fact that it is so lean.
Yeah.
So if you add a little bit of beef to it, it helps to kind of keep it a little bit extra moist on the inside.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, what else are you doing?
So what we've got going for this dish here is we've got our meatloaf in the pan already here. So I've cut a couple of slices off of there, and then we kind of put it in the pan like this so that it starts to get nice and brown on both sides like that. And what you're going to do there is you're going to add a little bit of texture to the meatloaf to kind of give it a little bit of a different mouthfeel, a little bit of a different flavor. And then we've got some roasted mushrooms that we added to the pan here as well. So those are portobello mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and button mushrooms, all sauteed up together. First we roasted these in the oven to get them all nice and cooked down like that, and then we finish them in the pan along with our meatloaf. We've got some roasted potatoes. So these are Yukon Gold potatoes and red potatoes that are cut up, and we saute those together with a little bit of olive oil, and then we're going to add some peppers and onions to that.
You're so fancy.
And as well, peppers, onions are very fancy. They are.
Fancy.
And then we're going to add some fresh rosemary to that as well.
Oh, look at that fancy.
Along with a little bit of fancy salt. Get that going in there too. Get those all tossing around really nice. And the rosemary acts like an aromatic, which means that it gets a lot of its benefit from the aroma, obviously, that it puts off like that.
Is it more about that than the flavor?
It is, yeah. I mean, texturally, it tends to be a little bit more pine needle-esque, so to speak. So
do you eat it? I always pick it out.
if you cook it long enough, you can eat it, but for the sake of this dish, it's probably something you're going to push to the side, but it's still in there. So then we've got our green beans going over here, too. So we've taken these green beans and blanched them in a little bit of cold water. And one good tip for blanching green beans is to put a little bit of baking soda in the water with them, and it'll help them to retain that nice green color that they have so that they don't. Blanching is cooking partially in boiling water. So you cook them in a little bit of boiling water to get them so that they're not quite so hard, and then you cool them down in an ice water bath, and then from there you can go ahead and finish them off in the pan as needed.
Okay.
And it also helps to kind of set the color. So you've got that going there as well.
So is it true that you have this on both the lunch and dinner menu right now?
It is absolutely true.
Wow.
It is, yes. I know, hard to believe, but it is true. Yeah, this is on lunch menu, on the dinner menu, and it's something that is really kind of popular right now as we start to get into a little bit cooler weather because it's one of those stick-to-your-rib kind of dishes. So we got our meatloaf going on the plate there.
Is there not ketchup in this?
There is. You keep coming back to what's not in the dish. More important to think of what is in the dish.
No ketchup?
No. What we have in this dish is bison. It's delicious.
How?
And we have a little bit of a barbecue glaze on the top, which you may or may not have noticed, which is a very close cousin to ketchup.
See,
as a matter of fact,
long enough that he's getting frustrated.
As a matter of fact, what you can do is you can take ketchup and turn it into barbecue sauce if you're so inclined by adding some brown sugar, a little bit of liquid smoke.
I just wanted you to know there's a lot of grandparents and mothers out there upset with you about not using ketchup in your meatloaf.
What we have here is bison meatloaf, and it's smoked. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. It has barbecue sauce on the top as a glaze, and it's an elevated form, one step above ketchup.
Are you going to put that glaze on it?
Yes, I am.
Don't try and get
We
classy
are going to
on
finish
me.
this off with a little bit of demi-glaze sauce, which is kind of like a doppelbock sauce. And there you go.
How about that award of excellence? It was given out by Wine Spectator magazine that you guys have won a second year in a row. That's fantastic.
How about that? Yeah, that's due to our exceptional wine list that we have out there. We've got a huge variety of wines, everything from really expensive to really affordable, by the glass, by the bottle. And tonight from 5 to 8, we're having a appreciation dinner party out at Thunder Bay
I
for
was
that.
hoping you would mention that because it's tonight from 5 to 8. Complimentary wine tasting. There are going to be appetizers, live music.
Yes, indeed.
It's to celebrate this award of excellence, which is super awesome. That's tonight from 5 to 8. If you don't have plans, stop by with coworkers, stop on in for some free wine tasting.
It'll be
and
fun.
Get the meatloaf.
That's the best
Exactly.
meatloaf I've ever had.
Isn't it? Even
Yeah.
despite the
Seriously.
the lack of ketchup, it's still good.
I might ask for a side.
Yeah, you would.
I'll
wouldn't
say
you?
it's for the potatoes.
That would not surprise me in the least.
Really good. Again, it's on the lunch and the dinner menu.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, thank you so much. Be sure to ask for the meatloaf. And this is just one serving.
Yeah, it's one serving. You
That's
bet.
Do you
unbelievable.
feel older or younger after you do this with us?
I feel younger because I have to be on my toes constantly. I can't afford to sit back in the rocking chair. I gotta be on my A game with you guys.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
Making Mike younger.
Yummy meatloaf. It is anything but basic. It's the Bison meatloaf. You got to try it when you go to Thunder Bay. Go tonight because from 5 to 8 they've got this celebration for their Award of Excellence from Wine Spectator magazine. So have some wine, some complimentary tastings. There are also appetizers and live music. You can find Thunder Bay conveniently right off the Interstate 94 and Highway 164 in Pewaukee. Call 262-523-4244. They've got a great new renovated bar that's beautiful, great place to visit and hang out with friends and family. ThunderBayGrill.com is the website.
Best
Always
meatloaf
love
I've
seeing
ever
you.
had.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.